So more than ever, we've been seeing a new wave of rappers making it out the suburbs. Now I know this isn't a new concept. Artists have been called out for capping in their raps since way back. But that's exactly what's different, cause nobody's really calling people out anymore. And it seems like with this new generation, people really don't care if the artist is really like that. And I'm not here to accept this or disregard it, but maybe gangster rap really is going extinct. Or rather than that, I should say gangster rappers are going extinct, cause the suburban steppers are still talking about all the same material that the street rappers do, it's just cap. And these suburban steppers are single-handedly the byproduct of rap music in the last 20 years. A lot of these dudes never started toting poles, taking drugs, and speaking on ops until they blew up. They just wanted to play the role and look the part. That's sad, and we call that thugging backwards. Isn't it so interesting that rap music will only sell if the artist is promoting violence or low vibrational activity, things that farther you from your true self? Think about that. That's the only possible way you can get a hit song. A lot of these rappers I'm going to talk about today have two loving parents. So why is it that they feel the need to talk about this? Well, there's two answers to that. Because like I said, rap music has been conditioned and programmed over the last 30 years to glorify the gangster lifestyle. And organically, this has just naturally become the product where every rapper's talking about killing, taking drugs, and flexing. And that's very possible. Or, like others believe, rap music was planted by the CIA to promote degeneracy onto the youth, glorifying the gangster lifestyle and giving us all these rappers to look up to, when in reality, following these artists will only lead you down a path of destruction and desiring pleasure. Of course, there are a lot of things that play into this, but rap music is just another factor. And it makes sense to do that through entertainment, as it is designed to deceive you, make you idolize false prophets, and subconsciously adapt your brain to hidden satanic symbolism. Which hints why before rap was poppin', rock stars were promoting all of the same dark imagery and satanic messages. The people in charge don't want you to know what you're truly capable of when it's just you, God, and a purpose. Not being controlled by all of these worldly things and the dark energy that society carries with all the propaganda going on. And going into today's topic, a problem all of these rappers face is they didn't want to think for themselves, they just wanted to follow the trend and do what's cool. Gangsta rap made not caring cool, you know what I'm saying? That shit ain't supposed to be cool, bro, trust me. Now, I'm not gonna hold y'all up anymore. It's your boy 10 Toes in, and without further ado, let's look at some new gen rappers who are not like that. They just wanna play the role, they just wanna look the part. Now, don't be offended because I'm just being real with what I found online. But how do I say this? Well, 95% of these new generation rappers are all cap. And I want to start with 4 rappers who are obviously not who they say they are. Now I'm starting with these 4 because these are the least dramatic out of everybody I'm gonna name. These people, they don't talk too much about street shit, and their music is based a lot more on the vibe, fashion, production, rather than that gangster rap. But they still have their fair share of sliding on ops and trying to sound hard. And who that is Yeat, Rich Amiri, Sofago, and Destroy Lonely. Now I wanted to start with these 4 rappers because they all have an amazing gift, but some of the bars I catch them saying. Stop the cap. So let's look at the background for each of these artists. And before I see anybody say, who cares, the music is fire, I know, but I'm making this video because at the end of the day, they're not being authentic, they're not being themselves. These rappers I named, they all get their subject material from the previous generation before them. Chief Keef, Young Thug, Young Boy. The only difference is the previous generation of artists lived the role and didn't play it. Now don't get it twisted. A lot of rappers from the early 2000s were also capping in their raps, but the era of Chief Keef, where Chicago was on the rise, you had LA Capone, Rondo number 9, and then you had Atlanta with the rising Young Thug. A lot of the rappers from after that era have really been brought up in the streets. A lot of them were affiliated before 15 years old and also addicted to drugs before 15 years old. That's the reality, and that's awful. But I tell you that because a lot of the rappers in this generation were just fans of those artists. They're really just duplicates without the substance. And to go deeper on these 4 specifically, man, Yeat is from the suburbs of Portland. Noah Smith and Yeat are 2 completely different people. His brother even said on Discord, his parents don't understand why he be pill popping and flexing with guns like he does. And I mean, when you're not from that environment at all, I understand her confusion. Then you have Destroy Lonely. Look at this pic. Enough said. Nah, I'm just playing. But listen to this. Destroy Lonely's dad was a whole ass rapper who was signed by Ludacris. Like, come on, man. Then we got Rich and Mary, and man, Rich and Mary, if you followed him on TikTok before he tried acting all hard like he's from Atlanta, bro's a regular college student. He even did an interview with Kids Takeover, and he really showed his true self in that interview, which I don't think we'll ever see again because he's changed his whole character. He's trying to fit in too hard. Then he's saying that interview to be yourself, I swear.
Fitting doesn't get anybody anywhere. Fitting never made nobody rich.
Now, Sofago, bruh, we all seen that Sofago snippet. You know, that might be enough evidence, but to close the case, no street dude is saying he was a popular loner in high school.
I was really like a popular loner. Everybody knew me, but I didn't like want to be around everybody. Everybody knew me as like the kid with his dreads in his face and like he always wearing the dark outfits.
Man, he was fantasizing to himself about being the popular loner in high school. But nah, for real, Sofago's music is amazing. Like, he's a great artist. But you need to understand, I'm telling you all of this because these artists specifically are all regular ass people. But because how rap music is glorified and how it affects the youth, these are all victims of the programming. Because there is no reason for these suburban steppers to be pushing, taking drugs, robbing, flexing your money on horrible investments, all to the youth. Especially when some of y'all was just in college. Like, when somebody comes from that environment and they're just rapping what their true lifestyle was like, it's completely different than when somebody who came up from a totally different environment is playing a part in the problem. When you see it through that lens and how they really don't need to be pushing what they push, then that trying to act all cool with a God complex just comes off lame. Like Destroy Lonely wearing an upside down cross. I don't want to get too deep because not every artist is a saint. It's a lot of artists have just never been humbled in their life, so they don't see a God, so they like to mock religion. But point is, yo, you came from a great household. Why are you even representing the devil? Like, he had nothing to do with your upbringing.
So help me out here. You got Lord tattooed on your throat, and then you have the upside down cross. What's... How are we feeling about Jesus? Destroy Lonely? Are we fucking with Jesus or not?
I ain't gonna lie, look, God.
What? Yeah, well, give me your religion, because you know a lot of people think fucking Cardi's a fucking Satanist. I'm atheist. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit, for the record.
Bro, this is so good.
But you have a pretty cool like dynamic of like Lord upside down cross. Like, I don't know what to think. What's your religious stance, buddy?
I'm a spiritual person.
Yeah.
In the simplest terms, I believe that it's something that's helping all of us, and that's about it. I don't know who it is, but shit, I just believe in that. Lord, though, that's me. I'm the Lord of this shit. I rule this fucking world.
But I've noticed more than ever in recent years, especially with Gunna doing that plea deal and people still accepting him, which I don't have no problem with. Like, I'm not here to hate on this specifically. I'm here to help you guys realize the change that's going on, because people do not care anymore. If the music sounds good, it doesn't matter if the artist is capping. And that might be because so many of these street rappers are getting arrested that it's just impossible to have all these real drill rappers. It's impossible. But a part of me feels like we do let it slide with these rappers because a lot of them aren't talking about gangster rap that intensely. They might throw in a few I blicked them down, like a few just straight cap bars, but it's like so obviously cap that we're just like, nah, I'm rocking with the vibe. Now next, I do have a few new gen rappers who are a little different because these motherfuckers swear they're like that, but looking into their past, they are not like that. And that's Summers, Can, Jace, and NLE Chopper. I know he's kind of mainstream, but let's throw NLE in there because Memphis been exposed to him a while ago. So one thing all four of these rappers have in common is they fantasize about guns in their music. They be drooling over guns in their music. Guns that they're taking pics with in the mirror, they are not spraying. Listen, this might upset the fans because some of you still might be fooled. But these frauds have not popped nothing but Zans and perks. Am I in the streets toting iron? No, but am I claiming to be? No. It's crazy these dudes will carry a little hand Glock in the music video for pure entertainment. So let's start with Summers and Can. Bro, you could go on Reddit and look at fans from day one literally be joking saying these dudes are cosplaying. Especially Can, who looked like an entire different person when he first started making music.
Sir, bro. Look, bro, we gotta go crazy tonight.
And with Summers, While yes, he did grow up in a low-income household, people always associate being broke with being in a gang or being broke with being in the streets. You can just be broke. And what's so crazy to me about Can and Summers is they never committed a crime until they got famous. That is the definition of moving backwards. And what's that crime, you might ask? Well, they were scamming their own fans. And we all know because this, they must have felt like the man, they had all these guns on them wherever they were staying at, but they had absolutely no ops at all. Matter of fact, if they did have an op, it would be some suburban underground rapper who got scammed $1,000 for a feature. And sadly, this is kind of what Jace was doing as well. You see, Jace came out the gate portraying a gangster image to the highest degree. He came out trying to expose everybody who was fake banging. His music, he'd always be talking about guns spraying you down. But when things in his circle went south, his name appeared on paperwork. So how much can you really say? I have heard that he was banging Crip, but if he was really banging Crip, he was really about that life, he's not gonna comply with the officers unless he's exaggerating his gangster persona, which honestly, I didn't believe. I thought he was really indulged in the lifestyle that he was promoting. But even if he was to an extent, his name showing up on paperwork shows his true colors. And I don't want to hear any, nah, he was just doing what's best for his career. That's totally fine by me. I'm not from the streets, but somebody who's really from that lifestyle, there's no telling under any circumstance. You keep your mouth shut no matter what. You take the charge no matter what. Now, am I mad that Jace told? No, I'm mad that he portrays himself like a gangster. And he still tries to. He starts all this unnecessary beef. Bro, he's a YoungBoy fanboy. I know that hurts to hear, because his music's so good, but at the end of the day, he's a YoungBoy fanboy with how he's trying to go against all these other suburban kids in the underground. And with NLE Choppa, him too, he came out just like NBA YoungBoy. He wanted to be just like NBA YoungBoy. He said that was his favorite artist. And people were like, damn, this dude's a real stepper from Memphis. Until the steppers from Memphis said, bro, this dude is not like that. He played ball in high school. He was filthy. He went to a nice ass high school. Oh, and you can't play ball and be from the streets? Now you could, but NLE's not. It's crazy how these rappers have to go farther from their true self to succeed in the music industry. If you're sitting here thinking I'm bashing these rappers, who am I to say if they're from the streets or not? Do you guys fail to realize gang violence, taking drugs, all this low vibrational activity is gonna continue being replicated the more we glorify it. And when we got people who aren't even from that life glorifying it, the music doesn't include the bad parts of it. That's why I like somebody like Dirk, Rollo, No Cap. They be having the pain from the trenches, so they're gonna talk about why they damn near hate it and did everything in their power to get out. Meanwhile, these rappers I named today, most of them just like talking the talk. They just want to be seen as hard by everybody, and that's all they care about, and you could tell. I pray for the day that positivity actually sells, because all of these dudes have real talent, but rapping about bullshit is all they know. This whole video's main lesson is to really think for yourself, do things for yourself, and stop trying to fit in with everybody. All of these rappers I named today are trying to fit in with being a gangster rapper. And because that, they manifested hundreds of problems onto themselves that they would have never dealt with in their regular life. It's also the fact that these rappers who grew up in a safe environment at night are contributing to the problem that's affecting millions and millions of people every year. We know rap music promotes all the wrong things, but at least when it's somebody who's really coming from where they say they came from, it leaves us with a certain type of feeling. There's a certain art behind it. But when you're somebody who just grew up and listened to Young Thug and now you're going to the studio talking about what Young Thug's talking about, man, you're a part of the problem, man. Because those Young Thugs and Chief Keefs were rapping about their life at the time. You see how rappers can't rap about their life unless it follows a certain guideline. Too bad all these rappers can't go and rap about their actual life with their talent. They have to talk about negative things for it to sell, and that's the truth. And that's just crazy to me, man. But of course, it's been your boy 10 Toes. I took like a 9-day break. Man, I had Christmas, this, that. I'm back. We're going harder than we went in 2023. First year YouTube went better than I ever expected. And we're not slowing down anytime soon, man. Y'all be cool.